Hello, my name is Skylar Sanju, and this is the In-Flight Emergency for the Piper Archer 3 P828181. There's a lot of different scenarios that you could have in an in-flight emergency. You could have stalls and spins, engine fire during flight, engine fire on startup, or a electrical fire in flight. You could have a loss of oil pressure. You could have high oil temperature, vacuum failure, alternator failure, electrical failure, and a loss of fuel pressure. We'll be going over the engine fire in flight. There's an emergency procedure that you should follow for any emergency, and the acronym is DECIDE. You want to detect the emergency, look at your annunciator panel, look at your panels and see if you have any abnormalities. Then you want to estimate the possible courses of action. There might be multiple that pop up, so then you want to go to choose. You want to choose your best course of action. Then you want to go and identify that is your best course of action that will help you. And then you want to do that course of action that you picked, and then go and see and evaluate if that course of action helped fix your emergency. This acronym is to help you slow down and think and not be in too much of a panic, so it is very good to follow this acronym. For an engine fire in flight, there's something that my instructor taught me, and it's called the ABCDE flow. This will help you for your engine fire. This will help you decide what to do, and it gives you a very step-by-step way to do it. So for A is airspeed, B best landing spot, C checklist, D declare, and E engine secure. So the first step in that acronym is your airspeed. When you see an engine fire, you should pitch for best glide, which would be 76 knots. And when you do that, it will give you more time to do your checklist and make sure you can find somewhere to land. It will give you the best distance, the best glide. So make sure that you pitch for 76 and maintain 76 knots, because if you go too slow, you're going to sink faster. If you go too fast, you're going to get to the ground faster, so you want to make sure you're going at 76 knots. Your second step is to find your best landing spot. So when my flying instructor and we did a engine fire in flight scenario. We were flying over an area we call Sater, and he just said, hey, you have an engine fire, what you gonna do? I did the DECIDE flow, and I had pitched for 76, and then we went and looked for a best landing spot. I looked around and I saw an empty road, and I said, hey, I'm gonna pick this for my best spot. I made sure I kept my eye onto where I was gonna land the plane, and if you don't have a road or something nearby, you could always just look for like a piece of flat ground or field, just anywhere where you can get on the ground. For your third step, you're going to do your engine fire during flight checklist. So you want to put your mixture to idle cutoff. You want to close your throttle, turn off your fuel selector, turn off your fuel pump, turn your heater defroster off, and if those steps worked, then you're going to go on and secure the engine. But before you secure your engine if you secure your engine, you're going to be turning off your power to your plane. You're going to lose your communication. So make sure you declare your emergency before you move on to securing your engine. And if those steps didn't work, you want to do an emergency descent. So you're going to pitch down going 125 knots in the Piper Archer, and then you're going to bank your plane at 45 degrees. And this is so you can try to get air into the engine compartment and try to put out that fire after you did all those steps before to try to put out your engine fire. you're going to try to use air to put out that fire. And if that doesn't work, you're just going to try to land the plane with the engine on fire. So that's a careful step. And when you're doing an emergency descent, keep an eye on your altitude, because you're going to be going down towards the ground really quick. So make sure that you still have enough altitude to get yourself to your landing spot. For your fourth step, you're going to set your transponder to 7700 and put your radio to 121.5 and declare your emergency. This is crucial so people know that you are having an emergency and they know what's going on. So for example, you could say Mayday, Mayday, Aerosun 123 engine fire. This will get everyone off of the radio, minimize the radio chatter, and once people hear that you're having an emergency, a lot of the times they're going to try to help you with your emergency and just keep an eye on you and make sure that you're safe. For your fifth step, you're going to secure your engine. You're going to turn your fuel selector off, your battery master off, your alternator off, your fuel pump off, magnetos off, carb heat off. Make sure to idle cut off, close your throttle, and put on your seatbelts. Once you do this, like I said before, you're going to lose your electrical components from your battery and your alternator power, so that's why you want to declare before you move on to your engine secure checklist. After landing, get out of the aircraft immediately. You just had a fire in the engine. You don't want something blowing up, or you don't want yourself getting burnt. So get out of the aircraft, help other people out of the aircraft as soon as you can. Then you want to notify NTSB immediately, according to the FAR Part 830, at the phone numbers provided. Since you did squawk 7700 and declared your emergency, emergency responders should be on their way to help you out. And if you did land on someone's, like, say, field or landed on the road, just let people know what you had an aircraft emergency. You just had to land, and don't move the aircraft unless it's for safety reasons. That was in the FAR Part 830. These are my sources. Got some information from the Airplane Flying Handbook, Chapter 18. The link for that is right there. The FAR Part 830, the PA 28181 Aircraft Operating Manual, that's where I got the checklists from, and the AIM Chapter 6 is your emergency procedures. Thank you for your time.